There's a battle along the sidelines, kicked back into the Scrosoppi area near the midfield line. Mazaka kicks it ahead into the Sudbury zone. Cyclones in possession. But not for long. Regained by Sudbury now. On the cross. Kicked ahead. Cresswell trying to center it off a leg. Passing it back. That cross almost intercepted. Silva had it and lost it for Sudbury. Now it's knocked ahead and off to the side. Kicked by Duncan. Battle in front of the benches. Scrosoppi picking it up. There's a collision just inside the Scrosoppi midfield line. Knocked ahead. Sudbury threatening once again. Trying to set up. Being marked very well. It's kicked back and again Cyclones in possession, trying to get a scoring play here. Bejic with a kick. That's picked up easily by Horvath in a 1-0 Sudbury game. Approaching the 30-minute mark here at Cambrian College Field in Sudbury in the OPL Women's Game of the Week. Ball is kicked ahead as Scrosoppi could not get it out of their own end. There's a shot saved by Horvath. The ball just barely misses the post. Almost rolled in. Good chance. Good chance there by Sudbury to make it a 2-0 game. Sudbury ball from the near sideline in the corner. Corner kick coming up. There's the launch. Knocked off to the side. There's a shot. Knocked down in front. And Scrosoppi kicking it out of danger. Sudbury regaining, trying to get in possession for a good chance here. Cresswell, her shot, pass there. Looked like Levac had a foot on it, but just missed the net. So Sudbury continues with the pressure in this contest in the first half. Ball kicked ahead all the way back in the Sudbury territory. It'll be Scrosoppi ball on the throw-in. Off a header. Loose ball picked up. Yim had it for Scrosoppi. Couldn't make the play. Sudbury picks it up. Good rescue situation there to come up with that ball by Sudbury on that play. After one of its players had trouble trying to make a play. That was Sophia Omen. Got some help. Ball rolls out of play. Cyclones in possession. Here we go. Ball is knocked down, picked up, and an easy Roller to Bouchard in goal for Sudbury, picked up by her defender. Kick back to the midfield line. Sudbury lost possession, regained it ever so quickly after an errant pass there by Duncan. Ball tapped along that sideline. Two players battling for possession now in front of the bench area. Down the sideline. There's a kick out in front. No shot on the goal itself, but Horvath had to be wary of the opportunity. Cyclones with a chance right there. And Horvath, actually, very, very nice save there, going to her right. Throwing herself parallel to the turf and coming up with the ball. Keeping the score 1-0, Sudbury's favor. Cyclones kicking it back to their own keeper in Bouchard. She nails one downfield with authority. Ball rolls into the bench area for the visitors, who will assume possession here momentarily. Into Sudbury territory, picked up and taken back out. Long shot there, taken by Cresswell, almost rolled out. Scrosoppi really pressed for any solid scoring opportunities in this game. Sudbury with the better of the opportunities in a 1-0 contest, but the visitors will try. Van Savath trying to center it. Kicked out of bounds. It'll be Scrosoppi possession here. It's almost 35 minutes gone in the opening half. Both these teams playing some cautious football at times, with Sudbury trying to exert a little bit of offensive prowess and getting the better opportunities. They appear to be hungrier in this game and really with the better of the opportunities so far, but things can change, especially after 45 minutes. Mazaka throws it in with no success. Van Savath couldn't make a play, and Sudbury will be in possession. As we wind down the final few minutes here of the opening half, glad you could join us on OPL 3 Women's Action Game of the Week from Sudbury, Cambrian College Field. We've got a great production crew here making this game possible. Here's a chance. Cresswell looking for a loose ball. Cresswell with a chance with the kick. And it's a 2-0 game. Kinley Cresswell battled hard for that one, managed to get the kick away at 36 minutes, and it's a 2-0 Lady Cyclones lead. Now, we've seen this team with leads before. A couple of weeks ago, they were up by a score of 3-0 and settled for a draw. So again, Cresswell with good efforts there, with a really good effort. Number 3, Kinley Cresswell getting the goal for Sudbury to make it 2-0, 36 minutes.
Goal scored by Cyclones number 3, Kinley Cresswell.
Cyclones now with a little bit of momentum going into the break. 2-0 lead. Question is, will they hang on? That's been problematic for the Cyclones women's team in terms of having a lead and managing to sustain that momentum. So again, Levac and Cresswell scoring for Sudbury in this contest. Coaching staff's got to be happy with that. Anytime anyone gets a 2-0 lead heading into halftime, it speaks volumes about what your team is doing out there and how it's able to take some of that momentum away from the visitors. But we'll see what transpires here in the second 45-minute segment. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the opening half of play. Plus there will be some stoppage play, or stoppage time as it's called, I'm sure. Bit of a collision in front. Two Scrosoppi players converged on the Sudbury player who went down. She didn't look too comfortable, but she's back up on her feet. That's Natalia Bejic wearing number 11 for Sudbury. She appears to be okay. Cyclones with the kick. That went off Mazaka, wearing number 14 for Scrosoppi. Sudbury ball. Thrown in. Levac, who had it and lost it, she scored the game's first goal very early in this contest. Now the visitors down by 2. Had possession and lost it. Chance on the far side, centering effort there. Emmy Arsenault trying to set up something, and ball rolls to Horvath in goal for Scrosoppi. Horvath kicking it away. Sideline, not able to keep it in and make a play was Fansavath. Perez kicking it to her teammate on the far side, out of danger, Schisler. Schisler wearing number 9. Passing it ahead. Two players trying to battle for possession in front of that bench area. Picked up by Sudbury. Almost stripped away and kicked down. It's a 2-0 contest here with just about 3.5 to go in the first half, the 45-minute half plus stoppage time. We'll see how that plays out here at Cambrian College Field. Ball went back to Bouchard in the Sudbury goal. Off a player, kicked it back. Trying to make a play is Yim for Scrosoppi. Now getting some help. Yim back in possession. And that's whistled down by the referee. Bouchard knocking it ahead to her teammate in the Sudbury zone. Cyclones up by a score of 2-0 here. Home game for the Cyclones, back at it again tomorrow. Here's a pass, looking for Cresswell. Scored the last Sudbury goal. Trying to make a play is Talia Bejic. Sent back to Kate Polly. Polly's pass. Left side knocked ahead and intercepted and kicked out of harm's way. Two 2-0 Sudbury here. With about 90 seconds left in the opening half. Plus stoppage time. We'll see how that plans out. Long kick by Scrosoppi, the defender, all the way down into Sudbury territory. Scrosoppi looking for something, anything to get going here in this contest. To no avail. Here's a long opportunity. Wide of the mark. Sudbury ball. We'll get an idea of the stoppage time here coming up shortly. Play back on. Bouchard passing it off to her teammate. Across. Kicked ahead. Cyclones can't clear their zone. Kept in by the visitors. Who are down. That ball inadvertently kicked out of play. And the Cyclones, I'm sure, will just be very happy to clear off the remaining time here in the opening half. Stranger things have happened. Teams can strike late, as we've seen in the World Cup. Especially late in the second half, where teams are scoring at the 88th, 89th, and 90th minute. Here's a roller. Bouchard will simply steer it to her defender. Pass back. There's an opportunity, and wow. Scrosoppi gets on the board. That was just a breakdown in the Sudbury zone, and the visitors get on the board, as I said earlier. Stranger things have happened late in the first half or second half of a game, and in this case it did. So Scrosoppi getting on the board in a 2-1 contest here after 45 minutes in Sudbury. That was a quick turnaround in play. Sudbury with the ball, didn't have the ball, quick goal, and it's a 2-1 game at half. So we'll try to get a number on that goal scorer. The league website has the Sudbury goals. We'll give you the visitors' goal very shortly. Levac scored at 6-minute mark. Creswell at 37 minutes for Sudbury. And Scrosoppi It's a 2-1 game after 45 minutes here at Cambrian College in Sudbury. We're back with the second half coming up in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, along with my producer, Snoop. He is the dog. Rick Wyman. Here we are. Cambrian College Field. It is Ontario Premier League Women's Soccer Division 3. Sudbury Cyclones on top of Scrosoppi by a score of 2-1. Cresswell and Levac early for Sudbury. Cresswell at 37 minutes, Levac at 6 minutes, so it's 2-0 Sudbury. Then a bad exchange, miscue, call it what you will. Sudbury keeper Bouchard and trying to pass that ball away. Donoso scores for Scrosoppi at, to be exact, 45 minutes plus 2 minutes of stoppage time. So again, it's a 2-1 game, and Sudbury's had some difficulty trying to, you know, when you have your opponent on the rope, sometimes you got to be able to put them away. Well, that's been the Cyclones' problem this season. So again, we'll have to see if they've been cured of that when play resumes in the second half. But again, it'll be a fight. Visitors and Sudbury Cyclones. Sudbury Cyclones with the better of the opportunities, but now it's a 2-1 game here at Cambrian College Field. Glad you could join us. The OPL Game of the Week, Women's Division. And we're happy to bring it to you. The Sudbury Wolves and Sports Entertainment production team behind their Cyclones teams, you know, it's been an interesting season in all three categories, the Premier League, Premier 1, Women's 3, and the Men's 3 as well. So right across the province, we're seeing some great soccer action here in Sudbury with the visiting teams and the home teams as well. Just awaiting the arrival of the visiting team, by the way. And we'll be able to get this contest to continue here. Maybe the visitors just need a few extra minutes more to get things going. Try to keep an eye on what's happening with World Cup action as well, beginning at 5 o'clock. Up, here comes visiting team. Back on the pitch. And as we said, Norway and England getting underway at 5 o'clock very shortly. And Argentina and the Swiss at 9. Well, we got the tunes blaring here in the sunshine at Cambrian College Field. In case you missed it in the 70s, Born to Be Alive. That's a throwback. But fans like the tunes, and everyone's in a great frame of mind on a Saturday afternoon. It's very warm, but not overly hot. We can best describe that. So Sudbury Cyclones appear to be ready to get this going. They'd like to atone for that giveaway at the end of the first half, which led to the Scrosoppi goal. I guess we'll have to wait just a little bit longer for Scrosoppi to make their presence on the field. Here come the visitors. And we're just about underway to kick off proceedings here in the second half of play in Sudbury. Sudbury with that 2-1 lead. Cyclones in possession along the far sideline. Kicked ahead. Got a couple of changes in the lineup for the second half for both teams, I'm sure. We'll try to get to those momentarily. Possession for Scrosoppi, and again, that ball is kicked to the sideline and out of play. Barnes with the throw in for Sudbury, knocked it ahead to Pauly. Ran into a defender there for Scrosoppi who couldn't make the play, and the ball rolls to the sideline. Barnes will throw in for Sudbury. That was beyond the reach of one of her teammates at that time. Victoria Duras in the game at wearing number 4 for Sudbury. Scrosoppi in possession. There's the kick into Sudbury territory. Good header there to bounce it back. Back and forth it goes and out of bounds. And Sudbury will bring the ball back into play. Easy kick. Emily Perez on the kick inside the Scrosoppi line. Deep into the visitor zone. Sudbury would like to get a quick one back to atone for what happened at the end of the first half. Easier said than done in some cases. There's the corner kick. Just wide of the mark. This time Sudbury with the kick coming in from the corner. There's the kick off a player, out of bounds again. So they'll try that one more time. Both of these teams somewhat slow moving here in terms of getting organized in the second half. The ball keeps on rolling out of play, kicks, passes. We'll try it one more time. There's the corner kick once again. Header. Loose ball picked up. And Horvath, the keeper for Scrosoppi, will retrieve and put it back into play here momentarily. Now we're underway. Sudbury with the chance. There's the kick. Little too high. Going for that top shelf. Kicked it wide left. And it remains 2-1 Sudbury here early in the second half after 50 minutes of game time. Barnes battling with her opponent. Good effort to get back up off the turf after being tripped up. Couple of players went down, no whistle, loose ball, far side. Fansavath battling on the far side for possession, couldn't come up with the ball. Sudbury in possession. Here's a loose ball now. Arsenault couldn't make the play, wearing number 12 for Sudbury. There's a shot off a leg that went off the leg of Mouin Nudin. And it'll be Scrosoppi possession here. Spagnola will throw it in for the visitors. Loose ball. Yim could not make the play. Levac chasing after a loose ball. Kicked out of bounds. Looked like Duncan managed to get that ball out of harm's way. Throw in by Sudbury to get that ball back into play. Greg Schisler passing it back to her teammate on the far side. That would be Amelie Pires. Sudbury with a 2-1 lead here at Cambrian College Field. Second half of play. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. We'll be keeping close eye on that England-Norway game as well. The visitors once again in possession, taking it into Sudbury territory. Intercepted there, kept in. Long pass down the line. That'll be visitors' ball. Lead pass, intercepted, broken up. Good play there by Barnes. Barnes in control, dribbling with it. There's a long shot and nowhere near the mark. It'll be picked up by Horvath in goal for Scrosoppi in this contest. Just a lazy Saturday afternoon here in Sudbury. Warm but comfortable. On the kick. Visitors in possession. Spagnolo takes her opponent down. Arsenault went down on that play, so it'll be Sudbury ball on the throw-in. Perez with the kick. Good header to knock it ahead by the visitors, and Sudbury in momentary possession. Along the sidelines, Cyclones had it and lost it. Good battle there by Scrosoppi to come up with that ball back downfield. On the far sideline near the bench, that ball rolls out of bounds. Should be Scrosoppi possession. Throw in. Brunton trying to pass it ahead for the visitors. Picked up by Sudbury. Cyclones with the cross. Arsenault knocked it ahead. Here's a chance. Kayla Levac with one already. Kayla Levac with the shot. Can't get one away. Opportunity there for Kayla Levac for another one. There's a centering effort. Kicked over the net there by number 11, Natalia Bejic. But again, Levac trying to put the Cyclones up by 2. Good hustle there. When you see those breaks in soccer, it's something to behold. It's normally a chase, and all depends on possession and the ability to get a good shot away. So the corner kick for Sudbury. Right in front of the goal, knocked down, and Horvath will pick it up for the visitors. In a 2-1 Sudbury game here. 2-0 for the most part in the first half before the visitors scored. 45-minute mark plus the stoppage time. Here's a pass in front. Knocked down. And that roller to Horvath, who will stop it and assume possession. Horvath with the kick. Cyclones in possession. Kate Pauley knocked it ahead for Sudbury. Into the far corner. Cyclones trying to get that ball into scoring position. Must be getting warmer out on the pitch. We see one of our linesmen out there for Sudbury. Waving the sweat off his brow. It's been a hard afternoon for Claudio. But that's okay. Claudio, one of the regulars here in Sudbury, of course, working his way. Cyclones in possession. Barnes kicked it ahead. Pauly on the far side couldn't negotiate a play there. That ball rolled out of bounds. Knocked ahead back into the Sudbury zone. Bouchard passing it off to her teammate. That ball rolls out of play by the sideline bench area. Game officials are Daniel Jacob, your referee, Sam Martins, the first assistant, Claudio Clarini, we were just talking about him moments ago, the second assistant, and Mariusz Bugzowski is the fourth official for today's matchup. Cyclones in possession here. Pass back to the line. Good play by Perez to keep it in. Cyclones trying to set up. Loose ball picked up by Pauly. Pauly going down the left side, looking for a teammate that was kicked out of bounds. We're so close to the action here at Cambrian College Field, we can actually talk to the officials as they work the game. That ball back into Scrosoppi territory, and it rolled out of bounds once again. Numerous stoppages today. Ball just not controlled well enough to keep it in play. Countless kicks and throws to keep it in play. Approaching 63 minutes here. In a 2-1 Sudbury lead. Cyclones knock it ahead. Scrosoppi trying to generate some offense. Yim in possession. Good ball dribbling. The pass. Kept in. Brunton. The kick. Into the corner, nowhere near the goal, and it's picked up by Sudbury's Barnes. Intercepted there by Spagnolo across. Cyclones regain possession. Intercepted now and kicked ahead. Bouchard will pick it up to safely corral that ball and kick it out of harm's way. All the way back into the visitor zone, who take it across the line once again. It looks like the visitors here are trying to generate more offensive plays than Sudbury. Sudbury had that advantage in the first half. whistled down. We've got some subs. Couple of subs for the visitors, or at least one that I can see. Sudbury went to their bench to start the second half with Silva coming out, Duras coming in, Victoria Duras, number 4 for Sudbury. We'll wait the official changes from the teams coming up here momentarily by the time it makes the website. That's how we get it. And of course, the officials make their changes across the field from where we are broadcasting here at Cambrian College. So we're not sitting with them. So there's that lag. There's one of the players who went stumbling down. The play was called, whistled down. Spagnolo chasing the ball for Scrosoppi, and again, that'll be a corner kick. Less than 25 to go in regulation time here in the second half. Spagnolo with her passing attempt. Good block there by the Cyclones. And that would be Victoria Duras making that play. Bouchard throwing it ahead. Knocked back into the visitor's zone. Cyclones on the attack. Far side, and Horvath comes out sprawling. That was Natalia Bejic with a good rush there, trying to make the play for Sudbury. Duras with the ball for Sudbury, passing it back to Barnes. Barnes, the cross. Intercepted and picked up by the visitors and knocked ahead, but kicked ahead by Sudbury. Now here is a chance for Sudbury with the kick. Whoa! What a kick! Coming off the bench and making her mark, Victoria Duras, wearing number 4 at 67 minutes. And we've got a 3-1 game. Victoria Duras getting the goal for Sudbury, coming off the bench in the second half. And it's a 3-1 lead for Sudbury. Hydration break for both teams right now, but Duras getting the goal. Victoria, number 4.
Goal scored by Cyclones number 4, Victoria Torres.
There we go. As it was just announced over the public address, by our public address announcer, Julia Williams. (3-1) for Sudbury. I wonder what the over-under is in this game. I mean, if there's betting on everything, so I'm sure there's probably betting on women's soccer. As we've come to learn, people will bet on the time of day. Okay, it's a 3-1 lead. So the big question now that I want to ask everyone out there, whether you be a Scrosoppi fan or a Cyclones fan, if you're watching this game, will Sudbury hold on to win? That is the question here. And we've got 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. That is going to be the question because this is a good team. But the problem with the women's Cyclones team is putting together that effort over the course of an entire 90-minute game. So let's see if they can do it here. Certainly deserving. We'll see what happens if the women's team can hang on there.
And we're back.
Brooke Duga is now in the game for Sudbury. We'll get that change here momentarily. In a 3-1 contest here at Cambrian College Field, we wind down the second half of play here. It's been an interesting matchup in our OPL Game of the Week. Glad you could join us. And don't forget other games coming across the league website and YouTube for your viewing pleasure until the season winds up. Another month or so. It's been a good year for soccer in Greater Sudbury, and certainly hope that you've enjoyed today's broadcast and coverage of the OPL Women's 3 division. I mean, a lot of support needed for the women's teams, and we certainly can do our part by coming out and cheering on the various teams right across the league. Still scoreless between Norway and England after 25 minutes. At the World Cup, that game actually got underway just after 5, so we'll keep a close eye on that one. A lot of people looking for I guess the fan favorite is Norway with the Viking King. So we'll see how that pans out. A lot of British fans, of course, want to see England proceed to the semis coming up. So no score there. Cyclones in possession. There's a kick. Knocked back. Barnes. Good move to get around the attacker. Barnes passing. Cyclones in possession. Pauly knocks it ahead. No Cyclones player available. Intercepted, knocked to the sidelines. Ball kicked ahead, back in the Sudbury territory. Scrosoppi down by 2 here in the second half after that goal. And we'll see how that plays out in terms of the final outcome in this game. Visitors trying to set something up. Time will be the big factor. Three 3-1 Sudbury lead. Ball kicked ahead, back into the Cyclone zone. Chasing after it. Bouchard comes out of her goal and kicks it back downfield. Teams battling far sideline. Ball gets back, knock into Sudbury territory. Cyclones in possession. Simply set back to Bouchard. Very important in terms of setting up plays. Passed ahead. Levac trying to make a play. They'll have to get reorganized here, coming out of their own end. Cyclones 3 and Scrosoppi 1 here in the second half. Less than 15 to go plus stoppage time. Ball rolling out of play. Ball thrown back in. Cyclones with a chance. Barnes. Sideline. Kick. Handball. Obviously someone missed that. How could you miss that? But we're not officiating. Kick to the corner. Duga let it roll out. And the visitors, Scrosoppi in possession. Lead kick. Spagnolo. Passed it ahead. Across the line. Into Sudbury territory. Ball rolls out of play. Both teams going to their bench. Come on, come on. Some roughhousing going on in front of our broadcast location. Fans wanting a card of some sort's not happening. The culprit there, number 33, Chala for Scrosoppi. Spagnolo passing it. Breaking their zone. Lead kick. Down the sideline, Spagnolo. That ball rolls out of bounds. Just over 12 minutes in regulation time, and of course we've got stoppage time as usual. Cyclones with a 3-1 lead in this game. Duncan from the mid line of the field kept that ball in with a good play to exert some kind of pressure into the Sudbury zone, but Cyclones playing it pretty cautious here, just pretty safe. Don't take any chances, just kick the ball out if you have to. Be in control, let your keeper control that traffic in front. It's Bouchard, we've got a whistle. And the Cyclones will kick it in. Bouchard for her teammate, Schisler. Knocked ahead. Kicked ahead. Back into the Scrosoppi's area. Now kicked back into the Sudbury zone. Scrosoppi trying to get anything going here. His time is a big factor in terms of any success for this team tonight. Chasing it all the way back in their own end. Visitors come up with the ball, and it's kicked ahead, but kept in. Dugal with a pass. Here's a chance. Corner, shot. Horvath went down, but didn't hit the net. And we're down to just 10 minutes left in regulation time, or the second half plus stoppage. (3-1) Sudbury leads in this contest against Scrosoppi. Good, solid organization. Scrosoppi, men's and women's, highly touted. A lot of talented players have moved on from this organization to higher levels of the sport. So again, something that the Cyclones may want to take note of in terms of future development. Scrosoppi in possession. Lead pass there. That probably will be cut off by a Cyclones player in the far corner. Ball rolls to the side of the net, and if that's going to be a kick, soon find out. Kind of difficult from this vantage point. 50 feet higher would be a lot better, but we'll settle for this today. Guys have done a great job. They're doing a great job here today. Our production team, music, everyone. So to be able to bring this broadcast to you is certainly a real treat for us. Lead pass, Kayla Levac. Levac with one goal already. Levac trying to center it. Loose ball picked up. Horvath in possession. There's a kick off to the sidelines. Cyclones with about 8 minutes of regulation time here in the half. 2-goal lead. Don't get fancy, just get back to basics here. Watch your exchanges, possessions. Cyclones now into the visitor zone. Well, they'll simply pass it back and kill some time. Grace Schisler passing it back to Pires. Bouchard comes out, kicks it ahead. On the loose ball, far side. And the ball rolls out of bounds. We'll have some stoppage time here coming up in about 7 minutes, but and I've just been informed Norway leading England by a score of 1-0. Interesting. But that's okay. I mean, that's what the World Cup's all about. You're going to get some teams that are just going to rise to the occasion, and that's good. And I'll have you know, I managed to pick Norway in today's game. I just can't see England emerging victorious, but hey, we'll see what happens. Got to take a couple of chances. That group stage killed me. All those tie games. Cyclones in possession. Just wasting time here in the second half. Up by 2 goals, and you know what? This will be a good morale booster for the team if they can hold on and win. Spagnolo for Scrosoppi chasing after that loose ball to no avail. Sudbury clearing it out of their own end. Kicked back in. Good play there by Spizik. Visitors trying to threaten here, looking for something, anything. Noemi Bouchard with the big kick. Passing it off. Just over 5 minutes in the second half, plus stoppage time. Here's a mistake. Levac with a chance to go in on goal. Kayla Levac just missed. Getting carried away too much like a hockey play-by-play guy. I know we got to tone it down here for the beautiful game. Just a bit. But Kayla Levac with a chance for her second goal. You know what it is with announcing. It's the whole hockey instinct that kicks in. But great chance for Kayla to perhaps get her second goal and make it a 4-1 game. Cyclones now with less than 5 in regulation time to go. Lead by 2 by a score of 3-1. Play in front of the home bench. There's a lead pass up the middle. Back forward ever so quickly, Grace Schisler, leaving it for her goaltender. Bouchard kicks it ahead beyond the reach of Barnes. Loose ball picked up. Duarez, who scored that third goal rather, with the touch, came in at a great time for Sudbury. Make a contribution. Coaches look like a genius there. Anytime you make the right moves in the second half and they start to contribute, just like we saw with Canada earlier on, Jesse Marsh doing his thing behind the bench, it pays off at times, and that's what you want to see. Sudbury Cyclones 3 and Scrosoppi 1 here in the second half. Just over 3 minutes in the second half plus stoppage. Can't imagine there will be that much in stoppage time. We'll see how this winds down. Sudbury Cyclones in possession. Kicked ahead. Duga trying to make a play, lost it. Passed ahead. Spagnola for Scrosoppi. Gets the same pass in return. Cyclones, there's a bit of a slip. Kept in at the line. The pitch looking in great shape here at Cambrian College Field as always. It amazes me my lawn does not come anywhere close to matching the conditions of this pitch. The weed condition is excellent here. It's always a work, but great shape. Talk to the groundskeeper whenever I get a chance, and it's his passion to make sure this field is pitch perfect for Cyclones games. Sudbury up by a score of 3-1. Change of possession. Less than 90 to go in the half, plus stoppage. Get that ball back into play, kicked back all the way down by Duncan. Spagnuolo with a chance. Was blocked. Cyclones forge it ahead. Whistle down, change of possession. Thrown in. Broken up. Sudbury in possession. Kicked ahead all the way down the field. Duga chasing in pursuit. It'll be thrown in by Uman. Charlize Baker wearing number 21 now in the game for Sudbury. Ball kicked and ball out. So we're now into stoppage time. I didn't get a reading yet from the official as to what will happen in terms of how much stoppage time. It's like a deep, dark secret here at times. Charlize Baker out for Sudbury. Three minutes of stoppage time. Yes, we came up with the number. What a crew we've got here. What a crew. 3 extra minutes. Sudbury 3 and Scrosoppi 1. Here at Cambrian College Field. Glad you could join us this afternoon. Cyclones just trying to kill off the clock. Take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in to this afternoon's broadcast. Wherever you may be, whatever area code or planet, wherever you are, it's always a treat to broadcast OPL 1, 3, you name it, whatever games, women's, men's, and happy to do it here in Sudbury. It's always a lot of fun. There's a ball that just got by Horvath in goal. As we wind down this game, don't forget more broadcasts coming up with the game of the week. And this week it was Sudbury's turn to do our due diligence, and we thank you for tuning in. And we've got a great crew here that works tirelessly to make sure that you get the best in broadcast coverage of soccer action in the Ontario Premier League. Barnes passing it along the far sideline. Is it rolling out? Battling for possession. Into that far corner. Up, someone went down. Loose ball. This is good. The Cyclones just really kicking it away, and they kill off enough time. And it's a 3-1 victory by the Sudbury Cyclones. They held on to win. That's a good thing. But again, Duarez with the goal in the third, goal number 3 in the second half. Kiera Levac came up with the first goal for Sudbury. And again, great work here. Could have had a second, but, it worked out well for Sudbury. So good team effort, good play in the first half. Second half, they rebounded well after that goal by Scrosoppi to pick up the victory. So, again, 3-1, and the Cyclones back at it again tomorrow beginning at 1. If you're so inclined to check out more OPL 3 women's action. Big win. Thank you for tuning in. behalf of the entire crew, SWSC, Julia Williams with our stats, Snoop Dogg, Executive Director Paul Hamilton, and everyone else involved in the great production of this broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to OPL 3 Women's Soccer. Have yourself a great afternoon.